What's up, bitches? And Jack dudes. Welcome back to the Strong and Sexy Show. And today I'm your host, Megan Nunez.
And I'm Ben Pruitt.
And today, you guys, we are going to be diving into the red flags in the fitness industry.
Spicy.
It's going to get spicy in here, okay? So just giving you a heads up. Hold your popcorns, hold your seat, because we're going to dive into the truth that you need to know when it comes to the fitness industry.
Yep, we're going to show you guys what to look out for.
Yep.
You know, how to spot a phony. You know, we're going to teach you guys how you can, fully understand what you need to do in order to, see progress on your journey with everything that is flooding your social media feeds right now.
Yep. We're going to shed light into the negative side of fitness so that way you guys know what to avoid. Okay? We're in your corner on this one. Okay? Bet. So where do we actually start? Because there's a lot of red flags that I see online.
Man, I think like the biggest thing is, Photoshop.
Yeah. If you guys follow so many influencers that like have unrealistic bodies, majority of them Photoshop their shit. It's so crazy to me because like even for me as someone who, scrolls online, I would think some people are like, oh yeah, like that, it looks great. That's amazing. But then like the bodies that you compare yourself to are actually not real, which hurts, your confidence, which hurts your process as well, because you put these people on a pedestal when there shouldn't even be on a pedestal to begin with.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of the times it's like, there's a lot of people who do have these Photoshop bodies or even like built up bodies, whatever. They portray themselves a certain way.
Yeah.
And they try to become, they try to sell fitness programs or they try to like give fitness advice. And there's a big difference between, just a quote fitness influencer and like a coach who can actually help you. There's a huge difference between the two.
Okay, I think the biggest red flag for that is like if someone's profile, this goes for the ladies, it's just all of this, women just showing their ass and they sell a glute program and they're not actually teaching you anything, that alone is a red flag. Because I talked about this before, where the people that sell you glute programs don't even work hard enough to build glutes like that. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a good percentage out there. And, there's genetics that plays a part into that. There's good lighting, good angles, right? What else? I want to say just look out for all those bitches with booty bands all the time. Like, that put together workouts that don't make sense, only to chase after the burn to build glutes. If you were, I'm pretty sure if you're a woman, you're listening to this, if you bought booty programs from all these influencers in the past and you haven't seen any results, there's a reason for that. So that's a red flag in its own.
Facts. And I think like another one too is just like, there's a lot of, on the guy's side, like guys who are just showing these different crazy moves every single day. It's cool. Like, it's so cool.
Giving acrobats.
Yeah, it's very cool to be like acrobatic. It's like cool to see what the body is capable of doing. But for the majority of the guys like who are starting out on their journey, you don't need to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to be,
there's women that do that too.
You don't need to be doing like backflips and like, all these plyometric push-ups and all these things like all this explosive workouts, like doing all this stuff to get yourself in shape. Like, you need to become a master of the basics.
Yes.
That's the key. So you don't want to, just jump in and follow somebody's workout of the day. If they're posting like different workouts every single day.
That's probably not their plan to begin with.
I guarantee they're not doing that on a daily basis. They may do that for, 10 minutes to create a video.
Yeah.
But like the people who are, in shape, they get in shape by following the basic plans. And like, that's why I try to teach on my channel or my page, just, how to master the basic movements, period. Like, that's like the one thing that I try to do, because I think there's a huge gap between, there's the creators who are just showing what is possible at the high level. And then, the people who are actually showing you how you can actually build yourself up to get there.
You don't want to be following people that makes you feel like there's a huge gap between you and them.
Yeah.
You want to follow people that would meet you where you're at and make you feel like you can also do it too.
Facts.
That's huge. that's a green flag right there. You know? So yeah, that's one. Or is that two?
No, it was one for me, one for you.
Oh, one? Okay then. What are other red flags that you
think,
find?
just like not educating, like not talking. Like, I think like that's like that's a big one.
Sorry.
I think if it's just like, there's a lot of people are just like, oh, pointing to themselves. I guess there's like language barriers.
I was
going to
say like just pointing. And
yeah, if
dancing.
we're not like actually explaining and breaking down what to do, how are we going to teach anyone? How are they going to learn? Like, I can show you like a workout and I can throw together moves, but you're not going to execute the workout properly if you've never gone to the gym before. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's people going into the gym every single day. There's new people starting up their fitness journey every single day. And I think it's our job as, people in the fitness space, leaders in the fitness space, to educate properly and, make it fun for them. Instead of just saying like, oh, pointing to my chest and doing chest workout and then showing some move that
you're showing the workout
doesn't make
in
any
the video, but you're not breaking it
sense.
down. You're literally, these people would literally just show like their best angles doing the workout, but not really breaking down how to do the exercises right.
Right.
Like that alone is like a red flag.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like how are you actually motivating people to also do what you're doing?
Right.
Right. So it's I want to say just keep an eye out for people that are like very much like self-absorbed online and just focus more highly on how they look versus just like teaching you how to be better.
Yeah.
In your own journey.
Yeah, exactly.
What are some other red flags, babe?
I'm just going to jump into my biggest red flag.
I know he's going to say some shit.
That my biggest fucking red flag is for those people who are trying to push fitness programs and, trying to sell their, program, whatever it is not having results to back it the fuck up.
Yes, that's the biggest thing.
That is huge. Like if you're somebody who says like, oh, like I can teach you how to get abs, but you don't have a multitude of like, and I'm talking like
social proof.
Like I'm talking like a bunch of proof that shows that you can do it. Like I'm not gonna trust you. You know what I'm saying?
No matter how big your following is, it doesn't fucking matter.
I don't care. Like and another thing is if you're consistently highlighting the same 4 or 5 clients as your top transformations, that's probably a problem. So like I always try to make sure like anytime that I, I'm working with somebody, like my goal is to help them get to wherever they came to me for.
Yes.
And so we're always wanting to make sure that we're meticulously going through the process because every process is going to be different. So if if I only see somebody who's showing like 1 or 2 or 3, transformations, like if you've worked with a bunch of people, it's not hard to get, 3 good transformations. But if you find somebody who's constantly putting out, proof that they have mastered what they're actually talking about, that's a green flag. So look out for people who actually have proof, have real results on what they're doing. And I'm talking like
good proof.
Like good results, like actual good results. Like if the people in their before and afters look like how you want to look, if they look like you in the before photo and look like how you want to look in the after photo,
that's a green flag.
That's a green flag. If they look like you in the before photo and they look a little bit less like you in the after photo, that's a red flag.
You don't have to zoom in on the transformation photos just to emphasize that there's a transformation.
Yeah, I should like the creators shouldn't have to like point out what changes were made.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have to say, oh, make sure you look at this area. It's like no, it's right there.
You drop the photo, you're like, oh.
There it is. Like I don't like it speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's huge because I know there's a lot of like online fitness coaches out there that are good at marketing, but they're not good at actually delivering transformations.
Right.
So it's like something to keep in mind. If you are looking for an online coach, just, take your time to actually do your research on that person that you want to hire.
Yeah.
Like look at the testimonials, reach out to the people that they work with and say, hey, how was your experience working with this person?
Yep.
Right. If that's something that you feel like overall, like from your research, your gut is telling you this feels good to me. Yes, I will go with this person.
And you're more likely to be more bought in at that point too. Like I'll tell you about like some of the best clients that I've ever worked with are people who've been like, yeah, I've been following you for like a year.
Yeah.
Like a year. And like not really engaging. Like they don't really like, they don't comment. They're just watching. And it's like, yeah, I've been looking at your stuff for a year, like for a year plus, and I'm finally ready. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So take your time with it. Like I understand like it's a process, but like if you're constantly being like, marketed to by and we'll just shift into the next red flag if you're ready.
Yes.
Like constantly being marketed to.
That's
if
a
you're constantly,
huge-ass red flag.
if you're constantly seeing someone like, I got a new program this week, or I just opened up a spot in my program.
I just opened up 5 spots into my program, and and then just giving you the urgency to like do something about
Always
it.
talking about like, this is we're opening spots, or DM me for coaching, which is good to a certain extent, but at the at the end of the day, you want to be able to learn from somebody.
Yes.
And make the decision on your own.
And still give, like, you want that person to still give value to you versus just like continuously asking you to sign up with them.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, like, I've made the mistake in the past. Like, I will hold myself accountable to that because that's what I was exposed to coming into the fitness industry. Having a mentor is to continuously ask. Yeah, we would give value, but I felt like it damaged my brand.
Yeah.
Like it really did because like I felt the need to like, oh, I need more clients. I need to make sure I'm doing this. But it's good for me to experience things for me to know not the things that I don't want.
Right.
So once I realized that, I'm like, damn, this is a huge ick.
Yeah.
And
so like I was the same way too. Like I was very resistant toward that type of, marketing myself because I knew I was just like, I shouldn't have to do this. And then I did it and I was just like, I'm not doing that anymore.
And then as soon as we, like Ben and I went through the same transition where we're like, I don't think this is the way we should, show up online. Like this is not the vision that we have. And as soon as like we grow out of that phase, that era, as you guys want to call it, that's when like things started shifted in the right direction, right? With the vision that we actually have, which is like growing our community. And now if you guys actually go to Mine and Ben's page, like majority of the content that we put out is literally just like teaching you guys more things because our goal is for you to feel confident enough to do things on your own and learn from us.
Facts.
Right? And the only reason why we continue to do this is because we want you guys to get results. Like your results is literally our reputation.
That's all I care about too, is like if you can get results from like the videos on my page, then I've done my job. Dude, whether you sign up with me or not, like I do not care.
Those are like the best too. Like when people approach you or people would like DM you and like say, hey, I appreciate you so much for posting this video. Like I tried it, it works for me, and I'm super excited for the next one. Mm-hmm. Like that gives us more of a reward, if anything, versus like I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm just randomly on your page, just like help me.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, look out for that whenever you are online, because like there's so many online coaches out there. They're just out for the money or your money, to be honest, and not really for their vision. And look through, like, understand the brand of that person.
Yeah,
like really understand the brand of that person. Does this person give you an ick? Makes you want to run away from them, or does this person make you feel like you're literally my best friend in the gym and I want to work out with you?
And that's the cool thing about this thing is like, there are going to be people who do give you the ick, and there's going to be people who vibe with you. I'm pretty sure there's people who watch my content that are like, ugh.
I know, mine too. Literally.
But like,
I mean, I put out fucking dildos in the kitchen and like say bitch all the time.
And I talk shit. So it's just like, and that's cool. Like, like the thing is, you want to find somebody that you vibe with. Just because somebody has a huge following and somebody's jacked and somebody gives you good advice, that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to, invest in them. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, make sure that you find your person, because your person's out there. Trust.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's definitely a huge red flag.
Yeah. Constantly marketing. And if somebody
following a lot of people,
if somebody is somehow has like just opened 5 spots in their program every week, like they might not have the best program.
That's true. That actually is true.
Yeah.
Why you gotta keep opening 5 spots? Where do the 5 people go?
Where are they going?
That's a red flag.
We're kind of exposing it.
I don't care. I will literally expose this. Right, I don't give a fuck. Like I would rather save you from the headache of going through a process of where you break trust with someone online just because they're out for your money.
Yeah.
Like I honestly do not care.
Yep. Yeah. Facts.
What else?
Other red flags. Many. Jesus.
Oh, here's one. Someone who would post online with their message that's not congruent all the time. They contradict themselves. And they just say shit just to say shit.
Yeah.
I follow a lot of creators in the past. I'm like, oh, I love what you're saying. They're like, love that. That's definitely something that I agree on. And then the next time they post, it's like contradicts what they just said. Like they don't have a hill to die on.
Right.
I think that's a huge red flag. Because a lot of your creators nowadays, I post about this, like a lot of creators are just so quick to just like copy other people's content.
Yeah.
But they don't, take the time to actually understand the content.
Yeah.
So they don't have the research. They don't understand why they're saying these things. They just say it because it's popping off.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a hill to die on, like, what do you actually believe in?
Right.
And if you don't believe in anything, why would someone believe you?
That's funny that you say that, actually. That's actually hilarious that you say that. So I've made a lot of content in the past. I think like one of the things is like, you know, there's a difference between like growing and like just like making different content that, you know, just to say something.
Yeah.
You know, and I always think it's important to like make sure you cover your bases. Like when you are creating, you know, content.
Yes.
Like that's the thing. Like I've made content. I've had people react to my content. I have a lot of people react to my content and they just like make videos about it. I'm just like, okay, well, you know, I guess I could learn from that like sometimes. Yeah. And there's other times where I'm just like, oh, okay, well, this person doesn't necessarily see the full scope of it. So it's just kind of funny that you say that, you know. I actually, I'll just talk about it.
Yeah, who cares?
Fuck it. Like,
it's
actually,
your fucking podcast.
I'll actually just talk about it. So, like,
don't be shy.
Like, I'll
drop the fucking bomb.
So, like, there was like a video that I responded to, and like similar points were in the video, but like one of the points I did not agree with, and that was the point of the video. And so, like, even in the video that I was responding to, I acknowledged the main point. Which was, you know, essentially making sure that you are, you know, losing body fat to reveal muscle. I agreed to that. But what I didn't agree with was, you know, saying like, stop doing certain exercises to get to a result.
Yeah.
And so, you know, even though I agree with one part, I disagree with another part, and they just took it and spun it into like saying like I was contradicting myself because I posted a video similar, but in both videos it was funny because I said, make sure you're still doing exercises to contribute to this goal while keeping this in mind.
Yeah.
And the video I was reacting to was a video that said, stop doing certain exercises and only keep this goal in mind. So it's like, no matter what, like there's going to be a lot of, you know, a lot of bullshit online, you know, especially like with people like trying to call you out and whatever, but like make sure that you're actually looking at everything and making decisions for yourself, because there will be people like who've like reacted to your shit and like, oh, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. Just if you look at enough, if you look at everything enough and actually do the research for yourself, you'll realize that you'll actually realize what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I did the same thing with me. Like I reacted to someone who was doing like, who was teaching people how to achieve a certain goal that was not really something that I agree with. I just reacted to it and gave value. That was the point of my video. It's like, I don't agree with this, but this is what I do agree on. And said person reacted to my videos, other videos, and started attacking me as a person.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the problem. And that's something that's definitely like a red flag when it comes to like, you know, online creators, fitness creators, they will react to each other. You know, like there's content out there that where people react to each other, but it needs to be a conversation that's actually progressing.
Right.
Like a conversation of like, okay, I don't agree with this, but this is what I think you should do. But like it needs to be a back and forth conversation of trying to get to the same goal of like achieving progress. It's not, hey, I don't agree with this, and then, you know, the other person just starts attacking you as a person instead of having a conversation about the
and it's
topic.
like, so it's like if we actually like look at the points that are being presented,
Yeah.
you know, it's like I always make sure like if I do react to somebody, I will always acknowledge their fucking point that I agree with. And I will always acknowledge what I don't agree with, and it's very clear, you know, in the message. And so if you like see somebody who is constantly, another red flag is someone who's constantly, you know, having like these reaction videos where they're getting like disproved, and then they're constantly responding, trying to like, you know, cover their bases instead of just moving forward with the conversation. Like that's a red flag too, because they're not going anywhere with it.
Yeah.
So
I will say, like, I know every creator or every online coach that is, they have their own process, you know, like some people will not agree to my process, and I don't agree to other people's process of actually losing body fat and building muscle. But what's a green flag is knowing that someone has a hill to die on.
Yep.
And have results that backs up that hill.
Yep.
That they're dying on.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the green flag you guys should be looking for. Not just someone who's like reactive, not just someone who's like just posting just to go viral and don't have anything to show proof that what they're saying actually makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Facts. Got to have the proof. At the end of the day, like
proof is in the pudding.
If you don't have enough proof to back up what you're saying, like I don't see you as valid.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to say. You could have read an article before you made that post.
I know.
But at the end of the day, it just comes down to who's putting in the work and getting real results.
I think it's also like you could read an article that contradicts what you believe in, and you could literally just make a video and be like, oh, this is what I think it should be. But it's like, for me, and I'm pretty sure Ben can agree with this, like the way I make content is based off of, yes, research and my experience with my own clients that actually works. And this is why I will die on that motherfucking hill. Because I know it works and I have the confidence to actually share it online because I know it can help somebody. I will not like go online and be like, oh, I read this somewhere and this is how it should be. Like, I would rather read something, put it into practice and see if it actually works before I actually share it.
Yeah.
Like, that's really important. So, like, I want to say with you guys, when you find someone who's like has a very strong opinion about something, ask them like what backs up that opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like why are they so strong? Why do they strongly agree with this certain topic? And if they are willing to have a conversation with you versus attacking you, then that's a green flag.
Right. And I've had people like, you know, get with me in the comment section like this, like, well, why is it like this? And then the conversation expands. But if you challenge someone on their content and they're immediately just like, no, you're wrong.
Deleting your
or
comment.
like, or they're like, you're wrong. Or if they're saying things like, you know, this, you haven't done enough research to have this.
You don't have enough followers to comment on my shit.
Or like, this take is uninformed, or they're just like combating you the whole time.
Yeah. But not giving you, the whole spiel about the whole research.
Yeah, it's just like okay, this is just your opinion. It's an opinion. It's an opinion.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like when it comes down to it, like when it comes down to like getting the best result, it's not really opinions don't fucking matter.
No.
Like what matters the most when it comes down to getting people results is the science. And you cannot have an opinion about science.
Yeah.
You can't.
Here's another red flag. People that call themselves science-based but don't look the part.
Yeah, the science-based lifters.
Yeah. Too much science, no application.
Yeah, dude, getting analysis paralysis and start majoring in the minors.
And I see this so many on my comment section. It's actually really funny. At this point, I don't even like take the time to give it, or even I don't take the time period to even look at it because I'm like, this is what I believe in and what has worked for me and my clients. So take it at that, do what you want with that information. But if someone creates content that's science-based and they don't have social proof to back it up and they don't look like the social proof itself, I think that's a space to be questionable.
Yeah, I'd say so. Now, to an extent, there's a lot of guys who just don't have like the genetics, to be honest. Like there's a lot of guys who know their shit who don't look like they know their shit.
But they still have clients that look like
exactly.
it, though.
That's the thing. So like even if you look at a lot of like, you know, a lot of the top coaches, they don't really look like amazing.
But their clients
look amazing.
The client results. That's why I said like it could be either or both.
Yeah.
But just make sure that there's proof.
One of the two.
Yes.
You know, if you're like giving out scientific advice and you're like saying this is the way to do it, but like you don't have any proof within yourself or with what you've delivered, then you know that's a problem.
Or even experience, because the proof is the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's people that read books, do a lot of research, post about the research, share their opinion about the research, but where is the experience?
Yeah.
Like, how do we know that what you're putting out actually is something that can be applied and something that actually works?
Absolutely. Like, I think it's just like really like, again, I think experience is the best teacher. Like I was actually talking to one of my friends who's a coach. Like I'm just like, man, like what's your process for like, you know, helping people get really good results? And he's just like, dude, honestly, I mean, like you can read all these books that I'm about to tell you to read, but you know, and you probably should, but the best teacher is going to be experience.
Yeah, because again, every client is going to be different.
Yeah.
If the book told you this is how you should get results like this, and you applied this to a client and it didn't work, this is how you, again, apply your own experience into that. And, you know, like coaching is an experience in its own. Everyone's body is completely different. Like you might understand. And I love that too. Like as a coach, when I have a client that's like, I've never dealt with this before. How can I learn? Like I'm open to actually learning about this person's body because then it opens a door for you to actually gain more knowledge in the industry, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Another red flag. I want to say like influencers just promote their code all the time. I promote my code, not all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather give you guys so much value. And if you have questions about, you know, supplements and clothing and shit like that, then that's when I would like share it. But I'm not here to just shove down supplements down your throat. That's another thing. Oh yeah, that's a red flag. If people just tell you, "Oh, take this supplement to get X results like this," that's definitely a red flag. Because you need to lean into like whole foods before having supplements, because supplements are just supplements.
Right. I think another thing too, guys, is like when it comes down to, what fitness content creators say, like really, really like listen to how they present.
Yeah.
If they're just saying like, stop doing XYZ, or this is the reason why, or like, or certain things like this is the only way, etc. Like it should be more of like a if then statement. So like that's how you can kind of, spot out somebody who, knows what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And it should always just be like, it should always be, something that you should take with a grain of salt. It's not, you should never just like look at someone and what they're doing and be like, oh, well, I'm going to make sure that I do it this way. Even take my content with a grain of salt. Like if it doesn't fucking work for you, then that doesn't mean you have to do it. And one of the things I always like try to make sure is like when I do present a piece, I always say like, if this is your problem, or if you're doing this, this is the reason why you're not seeing progress. Like it's always a if then type of deal.
Yeah.
And, or if this is your current situation and you want X result, then do this.
Try this.
Yeah. So always make sure like, that you look out for that. People will obviously try to like hook you, like saying like, oh, stop doing XYZ. And like, there's people
it's a hook, but you have to again, like you said, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah, and then look at the value too.
Right. But I also think like too, like when I do see people who like, put out content that's just like, oh, you got to stop this, or, start doing this, or this is the only way. I've talked to a lot of men who have been like, I saw this online. It's just like, they're saying like, I need to stop doing XYZ. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, why do you need to stop doing XYZ?
Cardio to lose body fat.
Yeah. Or stop doing, certain things. I'm just like, well, why do you need to stop doing that? Do you like doing that? Like, does that help you see progress?
Yeah.
What if we did this and we did this as well? You know what I'm saying? So it's just more of it's a different conversation, because I've dealt with a lot of people, like, especially like, when it comes to, getting ripped, there's like, well, I just focused on diet. All I did was just diet. And I got kind of small. I didn't really feel developed. It's just like, okay, well, that's because you 100% only focused on diet. You lost a lot of fat and you probably lost a lot of muscle in the process. So what if we did a couple of things a different way? What if we, feed you a certain way? What if we train you a certain way? What if we do XYZ, like add in certain foods here and there? It's a much more detailed process than just stop doing this, start doing this. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's important to read the caption too, because, some people just hook you with a video.
Yeah.
But the caption needs to make sense.
Yeah.
Like that's really important.
Facts.
Google University.
Google shit. Google for yourself too. Like check it out. Like try to like do your own research as well.
Is that all the red flags?
I mean, that's like most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for now. If you guys enjoyed this episode, actually, I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
That was fun. that was a nice little rant that
we did. But this is a part of the podcast. This is the thing about our podcast, that we keep it real here.
Yeah.
We don't hold things back.
Yeah.
Like we would literally straight up expose ourselves if we need to.
Yeah.
But we just want to make sure that you guys are actually, getting to your goal. Like that's our goal right here.
Yep.
So yeah, this is episode 1 of Red Flags.
Yeah.
In the fitness industry. If you guys do want to hear more of this, let us know. Message us on Instagram so that way we could do another episode. But this was actually really fun.
Yeah, this was a good one. Really loved it.
Yeah, that's it, you guys. Keep an eye out for the things that we've listed down and look for their green flags, okay? And if you do have any questions and need extra guidance in your fitness journey, where did they reach you, Benjamin?
You can reach me at benpruitt_fit.
And for me, it's Meg Nunez, MEAG, Nunez, NUNEZ, on all social media platforms. That's it, you guys.
Right.
We will see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'll take it easy. Peace.
Okay, bye.
All right, fam, thanks for tuning into this week's episode. If you love today's show, don't keep that shit to yourself. Share it with a friend.
And if you want to see more of us, hit that subscribe button. And if you're that obsessed with us, it's Strong and Sexy Show on all social media platforms. We'll see you in the next one.